Hey everyone, Iron Leprechaun coming at you. Sorry I'm a little behind on doing videos, but life gets in the way and things get busy. But I told you I could be here, and here I am. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and you've found anything I've got to say interesting, please like, share, of course, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you can get the updates when I do put them out. I noticed a lot of people have been asking where your videos at for months now, and there have been a few. So just if you click the bell icon, it'll send an alert, and you'll know when they're dropping. So here we are, moving right along. The meat and potatoes of recovery. Step 4. Now, it doesn't matter what you're identifying with as your issue. It could be food, drugs, sex, gambling, alcohol, work, anything. Binge watching TV, anything. If it gets in the way of you providing for your loved ones or living the life you'd rather be living, this can help. So, of course, I'm reading out of the Alcoholics Anonymous basic text. Sometimes I incorporate the Narcotics Anonymous stuff or other readings I get in my little quick drop videos, but I've been pulling from this book, so I'm just going to continue. It's what I have most experience with. Step 4. Okay. This is... People have... And this might be a little bit longer of a video, so bear with me. And the reason being is step 4 is a big one, okay? This is the beginning of what's called the action steps in recovery. And so, just a quick recap. 1, we admitted we were powerless over our addiction, and our lives have become unmanageable to whatever degree. Doesn't mean you got to be living under a cardboard box under the bridge or anything, or your family left you. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just once you realize that things can be better and I can't fix it, that moves us to step 2. Come to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. I talked about my faith in God. It doesn't have to be for you, just something bigger than you. Because, I mean, let's face it, we've tried and we've failed. So something bigger than us has to fix this. And step 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understand him. It uses God. This book was written in the 40s. Everybody, it was just God, okay? If you don't want to use the word God, that's fine. You don't have to. Again, power greater than you, not another human. That don't work. So, now we're moving on to step 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Okay, there's a couple words in there that might hit you. Moral. Okay, you know, if you be like me, when I first started doing this 12-step recovery stuff, morals were a bit lacking, okay? And it wasn't for trying. I just had lost touch with give a damn, and that just sent me on a path of me, and that leads to me doing some morally compromising things. So if that be the case, then maybe you can identify. Just something to take a look at. So, this is in the beginning of the chapter, how it works. Now, how it works starts off with a paragraph I'm going to read real quick. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. There are such unfortunates. They are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. So I'm going to stop there for a second. Now, they're not talking about, what they're talking about is the program. Now, the program isn't going to these 12-step meetings for people that haven't had any experience. That's the fellowship. Now, you get program-based stuff in the meetings, and you build relationships and identification through what other people share, and then you share, and other people get from what you said. It's a give and take. But the program, when we talk about the program, we're talking about the 12 steps. The actual getting down to causes and conditions, nuts and bolts, why we do things, why we think things, so that we can discard things and move past it. Now, this is the nuts and bolts. Step 4 is where we get into it, okay? Now, there are chances their chances are less than average. There are those who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. There we go. Some people come in, I've seen it in meetings, they got bipolar, they got, PTSD, they got anxiety, depression, all these things. Guess what? They still get it. So again, if we're having any misgivings, any hesitation because we have all these other things going on, these people still get it. You can still apply this. It does not matter. It does not matter. It's all talking about rigorous honesty. Just be as honest as you can. That's scary. I don't know if I want to be honest with myself. Trust me, I'm really good at bullshitting myself, and I can't be alone. That's how we justify and rationalize the things we do that we normally wouldn't do, or we know deep down we ought not to. But if we want to move past this way of thinking, this behavior that is self-serving, self-sabotaging, and hurting people we care about, we got to be willing to be honest as best we can. And that is the only way to do this perfectly. There is no actual perfect result on paper. The perfect way is as honest and as thorough as you can. Okay? So, it goes on a little bit further. It says, half measures availed us nothing. Okay? Now, that is something I apply in all my life. All my life. Now, I try not to place the expectation of attaining the perfect idea of a goal. It's harder than other times. Sometimes it's harder than others, but half-ass action and effort yields half-ass results every time, or less. If we give full effort, then we're more likely to get at least closer to the goal, okay? So take that and roll with it in everything in your life, and it applies here, okay? Personal inventory. Resentment is the number one offender. It destroys more addicts than anything else. From it stem all forms of spiritual disease. For we have not only been mentally and physically ill, but we have been spiritually sick. When the spiritual malady is overcome, we straighten out mentally and physically. Okay. Oh, one more highlight I think I got here. Nothing counted but thoroughness and honesty. Okay, that's like a direction. It's going to the directions of writing step 4. And we're talking about... Man, I'm going to have to do 2 videos on this. So this is just an opener into the step 4, and then I'll break it up into resentment. There's 3 main categories: resentments, fear, and the sex inventory, which should be fun for everybody. But it is a part of this thing, and it is essential to go over these things in a bit of a separate video, and they won't be as long. But this is just kind of the overview, kicking us into step 4. And again, the reason there are going to be so many videos on step 4 is because step 4 is a big one. It's scary. This is the step in the rooms that I've seen of the recovery programs. This is the one that sends people out. A couple reasons. One, it's scary to even think about doing this, jumping into this thing. It's actual writing. A lot of people are able to, I know NA, there's lots of writing in Narcotics Anonymous. There's lots of writing in all the steps. In Alcoholics Anonymous, you can, but I haven't during Alcoholics Anonymous. It was just more of a verbalization and understanding between me and my sponsor. So, and I don't know any other programs. Those are the only 2 I've attended, but the idea is this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where the action starts taking place. We really got to get down and do this. And it can be a struggle. I've seen people relapse and go back out and die in the middle of writing their step work because they come face to face with it. So I understand. It's a rarity, by the way, so don't get freaked out over it. I understand that this can be a scary, just the thought of it can be scary. Okay? I've stalled before. It happens. I'm not coming to you from some pedestal or high horse telling you I did all my 4th steps in less than a week or less than a month. Or dude, they've taken months, man. And not only because it's scary, but because I want it to be thorough. Okay? Half measures avail me nothing. I must do this to the best of my ability, or I'm going to end up going right back to what I was doing. And you don't have to be a junkie. You can go right back to just being a dick to your spouse and your kids, or, nobody wants to work with you at work because you're always in a foul, funky mood and they don't know when you're going to snap, anything, okay? Maybe you just want to have a better attitude towards life. Okay, that's cool. This can help. But I have to emphasize, the more that we are rigorously honest, the more we dig down and give time and really try to get this done, just like anything else in life, the results will yield in a multiplied fashion, you know? Just like somebody goes to the gym, if they go once or twice a week, as opposed to someone who goes 4 or 5 times a week, they're going to get stronger. Someone who has this diet plan and they, you know, they slip and fall and they adhere to it maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And there's this other person who does it, you know, maybe has one day where they just kind of let themselves eat whatever they want. They're gonna lose weight. They're gonna be in better shape. They're gonna be healthier inside. So just like anything else, rigorous honesty, stay the path, stay vigilant, and that is the preparation for getting into this step forward. So again, like I said, I'm gonna break this step up into many videos. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let's talk about this, especially if you've done this before. I'd love to hear what you have to say. See you guys around. Oh, and happy Mother's Day from yesterday to all the mamas.